What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I just wanted to start off by thanking everybody for all the love and support on the first video. Did really well for an intro. I want to keep this momentum going, keep getting videos out, and continue to get those numbers up. Thank you guys for liking the first video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Keep tuning in for new content, and I'd really appreciate that. So just wanted to thank you guys. But to be honest, after the first video, I was kind of stuck. It's a weird time here in sports where, football's not here yet, basketball just ended, baseball's going on, but really not too much to post about. So I was at work thinking about it. I look over at the TV and I see SportsCenter's on, and they're giving an emotional tribute to Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs, who died at the young age of 27. And the Angels put on a great performance for him and his family in the honor of Tyler Skaggs, and it kind of reminds me why we love sports so much more than just the game. So today I wanted to do a video about really why we love sports, some emotional moments. I'm going to give you 10 of them here. Break down 10 performances, 10 sports events that really remind us that it's more than just a game. This is why we love sports. So here we go with number 10, the Tyler Skaggs game. July 1st, 2019, tragedy hit the baseball world when Tyler Skaggs, a pitcher for the Los Angeles Angels, died at the age of 27. And just the other day, the Angels played their first home game since his passing against the Seattle Mariners, and they put on a show. 7 runs in the first inning. They ended up winning the game 13-0. And the most impressive part about it is they combined for a no-hitter as a team. For a pitcher, it's one of the best accolades you can have. Tyler Skaggs would be so proud of his team. They combined to give up no hits, no runs, and it was a phenomenal showing. After the game, the team got together. They put all their jerseys up on the mound where Tyler Skaggs spent most of his time. They were all wearing the number 45 that night in his honor. That was Tyler Skaggs' number. And Mike Trout made it a point, Angels star. He pointed out after the game that they put up 7 runs in the first inning, and they finished the game with 13 runs. 7-13 is the birthday of Tyler Skaggs, so really shows there are some angels in the outfield if you haven't seen that movie before, but I really believe in all that stuff. I believe that after people pass, they're still here with us, and especially in sports, they always find their way to bring it back around. And the Angels, they're really hot as of late, playing in his honor. It was an emotional moment and an incredible tribute to a young, phenomenal pitcher who passed away. At number 9 on the list, we have a touchdown worth way more than 6 points. On November 12, 2017, the San Francisco 49ers faced off against the New York Giants, just one day after 49ers wide receiver Marquis Goodwin lost his son due to medical causes after being born prematurely. In the middle of the game, Marquis Goodwin caught an 83-yard touchdown pass where he blew the top off of the defense. Once he reached the end zone, he couldn't help but break down and cry for his son. He went to his knees, looked up at the sky, praised God, sent a message to his son that he loved him and he was there for him. And what an incredible touchdown to score, 83 yards in honor of his son. We feel for him, and that's number 9 on the list. At number 8 on the list, we have an unforgettable speech. After winning the 2013-2014 NBA MVP award, Kevin Durant delivered a speech that was a true testament to motherhood as he thanked his mom for everything she ever did. In quotes here, he said, "You made us believe. You kept us off the streets. You put clothes on our back, food on the table. When you didn't eat, you made sure we ate. You went to sleep hungry. You sacrificed for us. You the real MVP." Shout out to all the moms out there. Shout out to my mom. Kevin Durant delivered an unforgettable speech that reminds us that moms are crucial to sports. At number 7, the tragic 2013 Boston Marathon bombing injured hundreds, killed several, and affected millions. Later that year, the whole city would rally around their Boston Red Sox in their hopes for a World Series title. In Game 2 of the ALCS, the Red Sox found themselves down 5-1 with their best hitter up to bat with the bases loaded. David Ortiz hit an immaculate home run, going right over the right field wall, sending Tigers outfielder Torrey Hunter flipping trying to catch it. It was an incredible home run. The whole crowd went wild. It was one of those unforgettable moments in a playoff run that was really centered around the whole city of Boston following this tragedy. the Red Sox would go on to beat the St. Louis Cardinals in the World Series that year, and I think that moment was the defining moment of their entire year. Sticking with Boston for number 6, on April 15th, 2017, Celtics point guard Isaiah Thomas lost his sister at the age of 23 in a tragic car accident. Later that season, on May 2nd, his sister China's birthday, Isaiah Thomas and his Celtics faced off against the Washington Wizards in a playoff game. That game went to overtime. It was an incredible duel where Isaiah Thomas, who stands at 5'9", stood taller than everybody that night, dropping 53 points in a 129-119 overtime affair in his sister's honor. An incredible moment for Boston fans. Number 5 on the list, Cleveland sports has seen its fair share of tragedies, mainly in the form of the Browns, Indians, and Cavaliers. These teams have just been god-awful over the last century. They combined to go 52 years without winning a championship until LeBron James and Kyrie Irving of the Cleveland Cavaliers led their team to a final showdown with the Golden State Warriors. The Cavs faced a 3-1 deficit against Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, but they came back and forced Game 7. An unforgettable Game 7 was sealed by a LeBron James block on Andre Iguodala and a go-ahead shot by Kyrie Irving with about a minute left, right in the eye of Steph Curry. It was an incredible moment for Cleveland sports, who suffered through many terrible seasons from their 3 teams. Number 4 on the list might just be my favorite. On April 13th, 2016, Kobe Bryant played his final game against the Utah Jazz. The thing about that game is that in years prior, Kobe had gone through so many injuries. And when I say so many injuries, I mean a ridiculous amount of injuries. He fought so hard just to keep playing in the league, and he realized he couldn't do it anymore. So the stage was set for his final game, and I mean everybody was in attendance. Jay-Z, Beyonce, Snoop, it was crazy. So the stage was set for Kobe. He goes out there and puts on a show. He dropped 60 points. He scored 17 of the final 19 Laker points. He went off, made his final free throws, hit a game-tying 3, a game-winning shot with less than a minute left. Kobe put on one of the most incredible performances I've ever seen, especially for someone who hardly had his legs underneath him. He went through so much and the crowd went wild. It was one of the most unforgettable moments for me as a Kobe fan. I remember I was in tears. It was crazy. Kobe went out there and put out a final performance for the ages. Number 3, the 2017-2018 Philadelphia Eagles team were underdogs all season. I remember personally myself, I was telling all my friends that year, I have a couple Eagles friends, there's no way they're making the playoffs. Well, Carson Wentz, their quarterback, went out there and had an MVP caliber season until getting injured late in the year. Nick Foles comes in to replace. He was an Eagles quarterback in the past. He'd been released, played for the Rams, and he even came out and said he was considering retirement just a year prior to starting for the Eagles after Carson Wentz went down. Nick Foles led them on an incredible playoff run, playing just out of his mind. Every week it's like, when is Nick Foles going to crumble? He never did. They faced off against the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl, and we all know the Patriots. They're the favorites every year. Nick Foles goes out there and puts on a show. He even caught a touchdown on the Philly special. He went nuts, putting up over 400 yards, a performance for the ages, and he leads the underdog Eagles to a Super Bowl championship over the favorite New England Patriots. Alright, so number 2 on the list reminds me so much of number 5. Number 5, we talked about Cleveland going through a 52-year drought without a championship. Let's try the city of Chicago. They went 108 years, 108, without seeing their Cubs win a World Series title, from 1908 until 2016, when the Cubs faced none other than the Cleveland Indians, going through a drought themselves. And guess what? Just like the Cavs, the Cubs faced a 3-1 deficit against the Indians, storming back, tying the series up and forcing a Game 7. And Game 7 was unforgettable. Cubs took an early lead, Indians came back, Cubs pulled away again, and in the 8th inning, Rajay Davis of the Cleveland Indians hit a game-tying 3-run home run. And then they ended up going to extra innings. We saw a rain delay. It was an intense game that the Cubs ended up pulling out 8-7, and it was truly one that Chicago was thankful for after going so long without seeing a championship. And this brings us to number 1 on the list, which, much like number 10, is the story of a pitcher who died far too young. Jose Fernandez, back in 2013, passed away in a tragic boating accident in Florida. The Miami Marlins faced off against the New York Mets, sent D. Gordon out to lead off the game on the night where they were all wearing Jose Fernandez's jersey. D. Gordon, who's not known to be a power hitter, comes up to the plate and on the third pitch launches one deep to right field. It's a no-doubt home run. He trots the bases in Jose Fernandez's honor, eyes full of tears, and the team comes together at home plate to honor him in an emotional moment that was unforgettable for the MLB. Well, there you have it, everybody. There's the list. Those are the top 10 moments for me in sports over the last 10 years. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know some of those were some real tearjerkers, but I just hope it goes to show how sports is so much more than just a game. It's about family, perseverance, and so much more. I plan on posting a link to each of those moments, a little bit more about each of those moments in the comments section, so take a look at that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share my channels. I'm really hoping to grow it. I appreciate you guys tuning back in. Thank you very much, and y'all have a good one.